Welcome to Challenge Forex. My name is Steve, and join me today as I do another example or a back test of a strategy that I've been considering using for prop firm challenges using three EMAs. It's an EMA 20, 50 and 200 just to get like crossovers and entry signals, and also an RSI 10 with three levels, a 30, 50 and 70. And the reason I'm doing this test is I've had a request from one of my subscribers to do a similar test to what I've been doing in the past with the 1 hour charts, but they would like me to do the same sort of examples or back tests on 15-minute charts to see how the strategy actually holds up. So that's what we're going to do today. The last one was a success. We had 80% win rate. We passed the challenge, or the virtual prop firm challenge, in only 5 trades, and we only had 1 loss. So we had 4 wins and 1 loss, which is an 80% win rate. So let's have a look at the chart now, or get set up using Forex simulator software on MT4. And the symbol I'm using on this one, or the instrument, is the Aussie dollar. And we're doing a 10K challenge example here to see if we can actually pass using the prop firm rules. We are using the same period, but 20 years into the future from the last one. So let's have a look at getting started here. We need to set up our charts for this one, and we're going to do a 15-minute chart. Very easy to set up using the software. I actually have a template saved with the indicators on it, but I am going to make a few changes to that as well. And the risk we're doing is 2% per trade and going for a 3% target. So that way, if we have a bit of a winning streak, we'll actually win fairly quickly. Now, loading the template, I've got EMA RSI. I'm going to make a couple of small changes to this one. I've got at the moment a 20 and a 50 EMA. I'm going to add a 200 as well. And with the RSI, I'm going to change that one slightly as well. I'm adding a 30, 50 and 70 line or level on the actual chart. And I'm changing that to a 10 period instead of a 14. So only moderate changes, and you can please yourself. That doesn't really make a big difference for this type of example. The reason I'm using the RSI is just to help with the trend direction. So we can see here that if the RSI is sloping up, we're probably not going to be getting into a sell trade, for example. And same thing here, but if we see a turnaround period like this, like a double bottom on the RSI and then a move up across upwards, then that might be a good reason to get into a trade. So I'll go through the actual trade setups as I'm seeing them pop up on the screen, and we'll enter into the trades based on the rules. One thing that I will point out though is the trading time. So we can see down at the bottom of the chart, we've got the actual trade timed. My trading time is during the London session, or starting just before the London session. So for me, it would be on this broker's platform, 9 o'clock would be the earliest time that I enter a trade. So we can see here 9 o'clock. The other thing is entering a trade late in the day. I'm not going to be entering a trade late in the New York session. Let's get started and look for our first setup. If the video turns out to be too long, I will fast forward the part in the middle, just so that you don't have to sit around and watch the boring bits while we get the results at the end. But I will show you the first couple of setups as well. Normally when I do these videos, my first trade or first couple of trades normally turns out to be a loss. So if we do get a loss here, don't be surprised, it normally happens, and we'll see how it actually works out in the end. Main thing is to reach our 10% profit target before we actually get stopped out at 10% loss. I'm actually going to turn off the highlighter pointer because it actually makes it a little bit difficult for me to actually read the pips for the stop loss. So that's a little bit better. So stop loss here is only about 12 pips. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I'll maybe go for 16. Take profit is 1.5 times, so 16 and 8 is 24. Plus I'll add 1 pip extra to cover for the commissions as well. And there we go. First trade was a loss as expected. Now let's see if we can make that money back in the next trade or next couple of trades. But remember, we can only lose 2% per day, so we can actually lose probably 5 in a row before we actually breach our prop firm rules. This is only a small stop loss, only maybe 10 pips. That's a little bit smaller than I would like. It's a little bit tight. It doesn't leave much room for any changes. I usually prefer to see it up somewhere around 20 or 25 or even 30 for the stop loss. But let's play with this one anyway. This is the rules. We've got the pullback to the 50 EMA and a close below the 20. We can see the RSI has come back over the 50 line and then close below the 50. So it actually is a viable setup. So 12 and 6 is 18 and 1 is 19. And there we have 2 losses in a row. Going well. Looking at our rules, this is a viable setup. We've got a pullback to the 20 EMA and then a close above. The time is 10:30. We had a pullback to the RSI 50 line and then a close above. So this looks like a good setup. And we've had our first win. We've reached the end of this test and we can see here that we have actually lost 10.48%. So we've breached our rules for the challenge, and let's have a look at the actual trades to see how we went with this. Clearly not so good. But you can see here on our chart, we've actually had quite a few consecutive losses here, and that's what led to the downfall of this one. Closed trades, we actually had 10 in total. And let's have a look at the stats. I'm guessing that our profit factor is very low. Yes, our profit factor is 0.36, so we actually lost the majority of our trades, which is okay. The thing is that you're not going to pass your prop firm challenge every time, and this is what happens. So we've got down here only 2 profiting trades and 8 losing trades. So that's why we actually lost this virtual prop firm challenge. But that's okay. We are going to go back and try this again. I'm going to use the same pair and the same indicators, but I'm going to just change the actual date from when we actually do the challenge. So I'm thinking that, maybe sometimes you're going to get a bad period for your a bad period when you do your test, and sometimes it's going to be better than others. Okay, so we're going to class this one as a failed back test for the prop firm challenge, and I'm going to do the next one soon. So watch out for my next video anyway. We'll see if we can get another result and hopefully get a winning prop firm challenge instead of a losing one like today. So hit the like and subscribe button. Watch out for more of my videos. You might see more losing examples as well, but hopefully we'll see some more winners and we'll clock them up with the successful strategies. Thank you.